Hello, 8th graders. Today we are doing Module 4, the problem set for Lesson 25. We're going to be taking systems of equations. In order to write a system of equation, we use this bracket and then put the equations after that bracket. And this then means this is a system of equations, so they want to find the ordered pair where the graph will intersect. They want to find a solution that will fit in both of these equations. So what we need to do is we need to graph these and then figure out where it intersects. And then we're going to take that intersection and plug it into the first and second equation to prove that that ordered pair works for both equations. So let's start by graphing y equals 1/3 x plus 1. Well, to graph it, we're going to need to know our m, which is our slope, and our b, which is our y-intercept. Remember, our m is 1/3, and our b is +1. So we're going to go over to our graph, and we're going to put our y-intercept first. So we're going to put a point at +1. And then our slope is 1/3, which means we rise over run. We go up 1 over 3, up 1 over 3. So we have to go up 1 and over 3. I'm going to put a point there, and I'm going to connect these two with a line. Now we can go to our next problem. Y equals -3x plus 11. So once again, what's our m? -3. And what's our b? +11. So we're going to graph that. Come back over here. We're going to put our y-intercept at +11. We'll put a dot there. And then our slope is a -3. We can write that as a -3 over 1 as a fraction. So we're going to go down 3 over 1. Down 3 over 1. So I'm going to start here, go down 3 over 1. Put a dot there. And I'm going to draw a line between these two. And we do see that these lines connect. So where do they connect? Right here at this point here. And this has the coordinates of 3, 2. So we're going to say that our answer is 3, 2. When x is 3 and y is 2, they're both correct. So now we're going to come back to this and we're going to prove it. We got to do B and C. We just did A. Let's do B and C. So for B, y equals 1/3 x plus 1. So we're going to do y equals 1/3 x plus 1. For y, I'm going to put in 2, because remember, this is our y. 1/3. For x, I'm going to put in 3, because that's our x number. Remember, these are alphabetical, x, y. So I'm going to put 3 here. Well, let's make this as a fraction, 3 over 1, right? So 2 equals 3. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1 plus 1. And we get 2 equals 2. So yes, it does work for this. Yay! Let's try it in our second one. So now we're doing C, where we have y equals a -3x plus 11. For y, we're going to put in 2. -3 times x, which we're going to put in 3. And -3 times a +3 is a -9. If I start at -9 and I go up 11, I'm going to end up at 2. So it does work. So yes, we graphed and showed that the coordinate point 3, 2 would be a solution to both equations, and we proved it by putting in 3, 2 in each equation. So let's go on to number 2. Number 2. Okay, let's do our M and our B. You have our M is going to be 1/2. Our slope is 1/2. B, which is our y-intercept, is going to be +4. Now, this one is not written in slope-intercept form. It's written in standard form. So one way we can do this is figure out our x and y intercepts. We could also change it to slope-intercept form and find our m and our b. But I think I'd rather, because we've done practice with that before, let's find our x and y intercept. So if I'm going to do that over here, x plus 4y equals 4. If I make x 0, then I have 4y equals 4, right? 0 plus 4y is 4y. 4y equals 4, so I'm going to divide by 4, and I'm going to get y equals 1. There's our y-intercept. Let's find our x-intercept. To make our x-intercept, we make y 0. We're going to have x plus 4 times, we're going to make y 0 equals 4. 4 times 0 is 0, so we end up with x equals 4. There's our x-intercept. So I'm going to graph these. I'm going to graph my y-intercept of 1. Let me undo that. My y-intercept of 1. And my x-intercept, this doesn't seem right. Okay, my y-intercept of 1. Oh, I know why, because I need to do a new graph. Sorry about that. So, let's start with graphing this. We're going to start with b is 4. So we're going to put a point at 4. And our slope is 1/2, so we're going to go up 1 over 2 and put our line there. Oops. Put our line here. And then for our other one, we have y is going to be 1. And x is going to be 4. We're going to put our line here. Now we're going to move this and see where this intersects. And if you notice, this intersects at -4, 2. So we're going to say that -4, 2 is our answer, because that's where these lines intersect. So let's prove this by putting these into the equation. So let's start with y equals 1/2 x plus 4, and we're going to do -4, 2. So x is going to be -4, y is going to be 2. So y is 2 equals 1/2 times, we're going to make, that's -4, right? Let's make it a fraction because we're going to have to multiply, plus 4. So 2 equals, let's multiply this out, -4 over 2 plus 4. -4 divided by 2 is -2. If I start at -2 on the number line and I go up 4, I'm going to end up at +2. So this works. And let's do our second equation. X plus 4y equals 4. For x, we're going to put 2 in. I'm sorry, for x, we're going to put -4 in. For y, we're going to put 2. So we have negative 4 plus 4 times 2 is 8. If I start at negative 4 and go up 8, I'm going to end up at positive 4. And this works, so yes. Because both these work out, negative 4, 2 is the solution to this equation, to the system of equations, I should say. Let's go on to number 3. Oh, hold on a second. Let me find number 3. The papers got mixed up here. Here's number 3. Okay, so we have a system of equations. Y equals 2. So this is y equals is going to be a horizontal line, isn't it? Y is going to always equal 2. And let's do this one. This is in standard form. So let's find our x and y intercepts. X plus 2y equals 10. If I made x 0, 0 plus 2, I'd get 2y equals 10. Divide by 2, and y would be 5. To get my x-intercept, I make y 0. So I have x plus 2 times 0 equals 10. That's 0, so x equals 10. So there's my y-intercept, or my x-intercept. So let's go over here and graph it. Let me make sure I get rid of our old graph. So first one is y equals 2. So I'm going to have y of 2. And remember, y is always going to be 2, right? So then I can draw the line. And this is y equals 2. Now for our next line, we have y equals 5. Our y-intercept is 5. And our x-intercept is 10. Let's do a line between these. And where does this cross? Crosses right here. And the coordinate points for this are 6, 2. 6, 2. So we're going to say that the solution for number 3 is 6, 2. So let's prove this. With the first one, y equals 2. For y, I have, let me change this over to this. For y, we have 2. So for here, I'm going to put 2. 2 equals 2, and that is correct. Let's do x plus 2y equals 10. For x, I'm going to put in 6. Plus 2 for y, I'm going to put in 2. Equals 10. 2 times 2 is 4. Six plus 4 is 10. And that checks out also. So yes, 6, 2 is a solution to this system of equations. Let's go on to number 4. These are both written in standard form. So let's find our x and y intercepts. So if I have 2x, negative 2x plus 3y equals 18. If I make x 0, if I make this 0, we'd end up with 3y equals 18. Divide by 3, and y is going to be 6. And if I go negative 2x plus 3y equals 18, and I make y 0, it's all going to be 0, so then I have negative 2x equals 18. I can divide by negative 2, and x will be a negative 9. So these are my x and y intercepts here. Let's go over to this problem here. We have 2x plus 3y equals 6. If I make x 0, I get 3y equals 6. I'm going to divide by 3, and my y-intercept is going to be 2. And then let's find our x-intercept. So I'm going to make 3y 0, make y 0, so 3 times y 0, so I end up with 2x equals 6, divide by 2, and x is going to be 3. So we can graph these two lines. I'm going to come back over to here. I'm going to clear this out. In my first one, I have y of 6, y is 6, and my x is 18. No, my x is negative 9, sorry. X is negative 9. So let me move this so I can come down to negative 9. And let's do our... And for our second one, we have a y of 2 and an x of 3. Let's draw this line. And what is our solution to this system? Right, we're here at intersects. Our solution is negative 3, 4. So our solution is going to be negative 3, 4. So let's prove this. Let me clear this out. Let's prove this. So negative 3, 4. So I have a negative 2 times x, which is negative 3, plus 3 times my y, which is 4, equals 18. Negative 2 times negative 3 is a positive 6. 3 times 4 is 12. Is 6 plus 12 18? It was this morning. Good job. And let's do the next one. 2 times x, which is negative 3, plus 3 times y, which is 4, equals 6. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, plus 3 times 4 is 12. If I start at negative 6 and go up 12, I would end up at a positive 6. So yes, this does work. That is the solution. Let's go on to number 5. For the first one, let's find our xy coordinates, or intercepts, I should say. So let's have x plus 2y equals 2. If I make x 0, I get 2y equals 2, divide by 2, and y is going to be 1. If I make y 0, two times 0 is 0, so I'm going to have x equals 2. Now for the second one, I know my m and my b. My m, or my slope, is going to be 2/3, and my b is going to be negative 6. So I can go and graph these. So let's start with my m and b. So I have a negative 6 for my b. And my m is 2/3, so I'm going to go up 2 over 3. I'm going to connect these with a line. My second line has a y of 1 and an x of 2. I'm going to put a line through these. And do they intersect? Right here. So this is the solution to our system. Coordinate pairs would be 6, -2. So we're saying here our solution is 6, -2. So let's check it out and make sure 6 and -2 work for both. So let's start with x plus 2y equals 2. For x, I'm going to put 6. For y, I'm going to put -2. 6 plus 2 times a -2 is -4. Remember, 6 plus a negative is the same as 6 minus 4 is 2, and that is correct. For the other one, we have y. We're going to use -2 for y. 2/3 times x, which is 6. We're going to make that 6 over 1 minus 6. So -2 equals, what is that? 12 over 3 minus 6. 12 over 3 is 4. So if I start at 4 and go down 6, I will end up at -2. So yes, this does work. Now, without sketching the graph, name the ordered pairs where the graph of the two linear equations intersect. If x is 2 and y is 3, so we have a vertical line at 2. We have a horizontal line at -3, right? So it's going to have to be 2, -3. Our x is 2, our y is -3. Have a good day.